Hello everybody, Foxden Gaming here with another commentary on video games. Now, I've been playing a lot of my games from my library recently because I've been bored. I was searching all through them just to see what I could find for games, like just to see which ones I still have around, which ones I can, boot up again, play a round or two, enjoy it. But I noticed a game that wasn't in my Steam library because it's not a Steam game, but it's one that I bought back in 2013. And I play it on and off to this day yet. I still play it. It's a good game, but people just don't play it anymore. And I want to talk about it because I want to discuss whether or not it's dead. That game is cubeworld. Now, if you haven't played cubeworld, I'll explain it in really simple terms. It's an action RPG where you have no goal. You have no goal. You're literally just going, wandering around a continent, biome to biome, country to country, walking to, the main city and, getting quests, going out killing things, and then you can either stay in that zone and, farm more, or you can reset the zone. It's stuff like that. It's really easy. It's a really simple game to wrap your head around, and it's really fun. The combat in the game is really fun as well. It's really enjoyable. It's fluid. It's intense at times. It's great, and I love it. You have 4 classes to pick from: archer, mage, warrior, and other guy that nobody cares about. Rogue. Yeah. So, with that being said, what happened to cubeworld? Because cubeworld wasn't always like this. You know what I mean? Cubeworld was never, Cubeworld was, back in the day, it was a big deal. It was a big game. Everybody played it. Everybody wanted it. It was fucking amazing. And it was an alpha title, which I've never seen before, and I still don't know if that's really a thing, releasing games during alpha stage. I know that people releasing them in beta is a normal thing. Beta testing is a pretty big deal on Steam. But with that being said, people have been asking for a while now, is cubeworld dead or is cubeworld not really a thing anymore? What happened to it? And I want to talk about a couple things. And I want to talk about why I think cubeworld is dead. For one, in my opinion, cubeworld is not dead. I would say it's out of commission for quite a bit, but it's not dead. The thing is, cubeworld has suffered from a couple of different issues that early access games all can have happen to them. And it's how it is. Issues like that happen all the time, and you can't really do anything about it because it just happens to be, it's related to the developer or it's related to just how the game's designed. And I'll talk about why other games have, succeeded where cubeworld has not. So first things first, why is cubeworld not being played by many people anymore? And I want to talk about the major design flaw with cubeworld being that it's based around one thing at the moment, and there's only one thing that you can do. Now that thing is combat, which is really fun. But the thing is, cubeworld has the same feel as an MMO when you're first starting off. You go out, you kill things, you find things you need to do. You see a dungeon, be like, okay, I'm going to go do that dungeon. You beat the dungeon, you kill the boss. Stuff like that. And that's all fine and dandy, and it's enjoyable. When that's all you're doing, and that's all the game has to offer, you start to get bored of it. It starts to not hold up anymore. It starts to fall apart. cubeworld has that issue. cubeworld fell apart because it has nothing to it. It's bare bones, it's a skeleton, and rightfully so. It shouldn't be fleshed out like a good game, I'm not saying cubeworld isn't a good game, I'm saying that it's not a complete game. It is an incomplete game that is still fun, but there's not much there. Now, to look at cubeworld's longevity, you need to kind of understand there's a couple of different things that increase the longevity of a game. First off, if it's multiplayer or not, that automatically boosts its ability to survive through different things a lot. Like the community of the game, Like the Skyrim community has survived a long time because it has a very strong modding community. And people enjoy modding for it. Whereas, say, if you were to look at another single-player games community, I would argue Half-Life's community is sort of dead at this point, because nobody really cares anymore. Half-Life 2 Deathmatch is dead because nobody wanted to mod for it anymore. Nobody wanted to make maps. Nobody wanted to do anything. with the game. So, of course, when that happens, the game stales, people get bored of it, it dies. People stop playing it. And that's the clear area where the game sort of just stops being good, I would say. When the game dies completely. Now, cubeworld has died in such a way that it has nothing going for it anymore. And it's died because of a couple reasons that are completely out of our control. One of these reasons is simply the fact that it's no longer available for purchase. Now, some people may not know this, and I'll be 100% honest, I didn't know this was a thing either. I thought that cubeworld was still available for purchase. It is not. If you go on Pychroma's site right now, you can see that Pychroma's store is currently down, and I guess it's been down for a couple of years now, which is weird, because you'd think you'd still want people to buy your game, but I guess having the ability to buy the game might cost too much money or something. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird thing that happened, and I don't understand why, and I feel like that's also sort of killing the game, because think about it, you're now cut off the player base from growing, because now there's not anybody buying the game, so nobody's playing it anymore, and now the people that have the game, their friends who they try to, say, hey, this is a really fun game, you should try it, their friends can no longer play it, It's sad, and it sucks, but it's what you gotta deal with. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the other thing that can increase a game's longevity, which is multiplayer. cubeworld's multiplayer is dog shit, and everybody knows it, okay? Unless you're playing with less than, 10 people, it's not fun. It sucks. It's bad. Because the thing is, with Minecraft, you can have these giant servers full of hundreds of people all playing on this one server, and it's like an MMO type. Whereas cubeworld has that similar sort of feel where it's like an MMO. You have all these classes, and each class has its own special abilities. It's clear that some of it is made for being multiplayer. The mage's water spec, guess what? That's a healing class. But you don't really heal anybody during that, you can heal yourself, but why not just play a fire mage, get the extra damage, make potions, because that's just as effective. It's a weird balance issue, and the reason why cubeworld sucks with big multiplayer servers like that, I'll explain it in really simple terms. There's not really any big servers, I think, going on for cubeworld anymore, which is understandable. I mean, think about it. It's been 4 years. Of course, nobody's playing on those servers anymore. People may play in little pockets of communities, but they probably don't. There's not big bustling servers like there were when the game first came out. But if you want a good example of why the cubeworld servers don't work in an MMO fashion, look up Jesse Cox's video on cubeworld, because they play cubeworld on a big populated server. And you'll notice that they just start leveling up randomly. That's because the way that cubeworld works is it automatically sort of puts you in a party with everybody in the map or on the server. So what ends up happening is you and everybody else sort of share boss kills, And so with that happening, you then gain tons of experience from everybody that's killing any boss on the map. So that means if somebody's killing a boss 5 zones away, keep in mind, power levels get stronger for every zone you leave, you go away from the center town, So they start dropping a lot more experience, and what ends up happening is people start leveling randomly, and they're not really even doing anything, and it causes a weird, effect of, now, you level up a lot, but that's not good because you're not getting the gear that you need in order to actually combat these bigger monsters, you know what I mean? You're not really making enough experience, killing off the smaller mobs to get things like that. Now, granted, there's a lot of stores in the game that you can buy recipes for things, so I guess you can make gear if you really needed it. But the issue is still there that the game is unbalanced for multiplayer, and that put a giant nail in its coffin, and it just was not good. The other thing that sort of I noticed is cubeworld has a great, how do I say it? It has a great way of, modding. They have tools out to mod cubeworld, and it's really good that they have that. But nobody wants to do it. And nobody actually really wants to mod cubeworld in any way because they just don't want to. It's like working with a dead community. Why would you want to do that? And cubeworld has been dead for so long that it's like even any attempt to revive it is just futile, and it's not good. It's not a good state for cubeworld to be in. Now, why do I care about this dead game? Why does it matter to me? And the reason why it matters to me is because cubeworld is a great game. It has a lot of potential, and it's very good, but it needs to get updated pretty soon, or it's never going to get out of this horrible pit. Now, granted, I know for a fact that when it does get updated, everybody's going to throw a giant shit fit about it, and they're going to be like, oh my god, finally the updates come out, you're so happy, you know, like that sort of deal. Because it's been so long that cubeworld getting any update is good. It happened with Terraria too, when Terraria said, yeah, we're no longer updating it, so like, or Terraria was like, we're not getting updated anymore, it's fine, don't worry about it. But then when it just had like the surprise update, like bam, yeah, everybody lost their shit for it, and it was a really big deal. And because of that, it sort of extended Terraria's life in general. But there's like a point where a game is so dead that it's just like not even salvageable at this point. cubeworld is in an unsalvageable state for me right now, because it's like, until they put it back on the store, like, cubeworld is effectively dead. The only way you can get a hold of cubeworld now is by pirating it, and even then, that's sketchy as hell. You don't want to do that, but I mean, if it's the only way you can play the game, I guess do what you gotta do. But still, it's like, cubeworld has the most potential ever to be a good game. And it's evident through a lot of different things. You want proof? Look at Wally's Twitter. Like, the reason why I'm doing this video is because he updated his Twitter again. And granted, it was on April 1st, so, you know, he's a dick for doing that. But, I mean, the fact that he did that is great, because now people are actually, like, paying attention to it again, and it's a big deal, you know? It's a really big deal, and I like that he did that. Will people still want to play cubeworld after it's updated? I think so. But is cubeworld worth still playing at this point? If you have it, yeah, I would say so. Continue playing it and just, you know, enjoying it for what it is, because it is a great game. But is it dead? Kind of is. The subreddit, if you've ever been on the subreddit, it's kind of depressing. Like, the No Man's Sky subreddit was, like, fucking ridiculous. Like, it was in a toxic explosion of, like, nuclear waste because of how shitty that whole situation was. But when you go on the cubeworld subreddit, it's, like, the saddest thing you can see when it comes to a video games, you know, community. Where a big part of video games now, and this isn't, people don't seem to understand this as much, but, like, when it comes to a video game, one of the most important things that revolves around the game is its community. And if a game doesn't have a very good community, then the game is doomed to fail from the very beginning. And the thing is, cubeworld's community is so just done that they don't really care anymore, you know? Like, they make jokes about Wally being, like, a slow worker. They make jokes about how there's never going to be another update. How, like, oh, it says regular updates, but they're not regular. They never get updated, you know? Like, and just to put it into perspective, I am recording this on April 9th, 2017, okay? I'm bringing up cubeworld's launcher right now, okay? The last update was July 5th, 2013. And it wasn't even a big update. It was a small update where they changed a couple, like, bugs. Like, they fixed some things that were, you know, like, issues. So, it's sad. And I don't know what to say. Anyway, I hope if you guys like this video, tell me in the comments. And I'll do more videos like this. I like talking about things. I plan on doing a video about school, by the way. About what I think about how my school was. Because I have a lot of stories I'd like to tell about that. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you guys like this video. Enjoy it, you know. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.